叶小雷的气息感应越来越……
要再挑战我一次吗？
永恒三剑，创世生灵。叶小雷，
明白。
With their increased power, Long Haochen's team now stands against mighty enemies. Another squad of hunters had been brutally crushed by the 8th and 10th Pillar Gods. Fortunately, Long Haochen brought his own team, and they arrived just in time to help. In the official preview of episode 176 Throne of Seal, Shang Kaier summons a Lux to block the 8th and 10th Pillar Gods, while Long Haochen bravely fights Emperor Feng and rescues Yi Xiaolei. Let's go into the details. But first, please leave a like and write a comment, since the channel now especially needs your support. It turned out that the power of the first 10 pillars had once been restrained by Emperor Feng. But now, as he seeks to seize divine essence and become a god, he has released their seals. How powerful are the top 10 pillar gods? Each of these 10 figures possesses spiritual power exceeding 600,000. Their level is higher than the 9th rank of the 6th step, and their strength is truly terrifying. In the preview, even when Long Haochen and his allies fight with all their might, the pressure remains immense, because in their team only Long Haochen himself is able to battle the 8th and 10th pillar gods head-on. With the throne of eternity and creation, he is indeed very powerful. But one must not forget about Kaier. At this moment, the deputy leader of the squad, Shang Kaier, enters the battle. She throws out the necklace of eternal melody, summons the Tower of Eternity, and even calls forth the power of a Lux. Could it be that we will see this legendary figure again? In the anime, unlike in the original, he survived and even became a god. But what Kaier summoned was of course not the real Lux, only a projection of his power upon her. Still, this gave her a true chance to resist the enemies. At first, Long Haochen was fighting the 8th and 10th pillar gods, but Kaier was forced to call a Lux because Long Haochen had to leave the battlefield. He sensed deadly danger looming over Yi Xiaolei, who was about to be captured by Emperor Feng. What was he planning? The girl's life was in mortal peril, and Long Haochen could not delay any longer. He asked Kaier to hold off the 8th and 10th pillar gods so that they would not interfere, while he rushed into the dream world, where he had to confront Emperor Feng. At that moment Kaier's heart suddenly tightened. Ever since Long Haochen had once been killed by Emperor Feng, that pain had remained in her soul. Now they had to face him again, and naturally Kaier felt fear. The two of them stepped aside to talk privately. Kaier looked at her beloved with concern and asked Long Haochen not to fight alone this time. He calmed her and promised that he would no longer make her worry. Kaier summoned a Lux, and his power was so great that with a single wave of his hand he dispersed the attacks of the 8th and 10th pillar gods. Now Kaier, together with Wang Yuan and the others, entered into direct confrontation with these mighty foes. But what was happening in the dream world? Emperor Feng had already entered and discovered Yi Xiaolei's location. She was hiding in the Temple of Dreams, and Feng was preparing to break through its protection. Once he succeeded, Yi Xiaolei would die, and he himself would become a god. At the decisive moment Long Haochen appeared, revealing that he was alive. In addition, at the entrance to the dream world appeared the elf dragon, who had lost his reason. In the original, he had been killed by Emperor Feng, but in the anime it seems the ending was changed. Here, the dragon was under the Emperor's control and mistakenly took the heroes for intruders into the dream world. The Dawn's Light squad clashed with the dragon, but Yi Xiaolei's life was at risk. They could not fight at full strength. The dragon already outmatched them in power, and if they held back, defeating him was impossible. Fortunately, Chen Inger, marked by the beast god, was among them. She had a method to awaken the dragon. In this situation, Kaier too could probably use the Great Blooming Lotus to cleanse his mind. That likely would have worked as well. Emperor Feng knew that Yi Xiaolei was a divinity left behind by the goddess of nature and wanted to merge with her soul. Yi Xiaolei replied that she would rather destroy herself. With the fall of the magic dragon, she had lost her last protection, and the illusory paradise vanished. Emperor Feng absorbed the life energy of the place, covering everything with his barrier. His goal was to become a god. Normally, when humans reached 1,000,000 in spiritual power, they dissolved into the world itself. But he, as a demon from another realm, could avoid this fate. For that, he needed only a deity. And then Long Haochen intervened. As soon as the emperor tried to seize Yi Xiaolei, he was struck by a blinding light. It was Long Haochen, bearer of the divine throne of eternity and creation. Emperor Feng was shocked that Long Haochen was alive. It turned out that Yi Xiaolei had deliberately pretended in order to buy time until Haochen crossed from another world. He managed to appear at the critical moment, repelled the emperor, and shielded Yi Xiaolei. Long Haochen summoned the shield of the divine snail of sun and moon, using the power of the super-divine artifact. The emperor realized that he was truly alive and not subject to necromancy. Haochen's strength made him feel threatened. The emperor, in shock, asked how he could still be alive. "Why would you think I am dead?" Long Haochen said calmly. "You already killed me once, but I am certain you will not have a second chance." With these words, 9 colored light burst out from the shield of the divine snail of sun and moon, striking the emperor in a dense stream. Although the shield of the divine snail of sun and moon could unleash its greatest power only at sunrise or sunset, thanks to accumulated energy, its attack, as a strike from a super-divine artifact, could rival the mightiest blow of the divine throne of eternity and creation. "You will not escape," roared Emperor Feng. He stretched out his right hand, and a strange symbol appeared on his fist. Then he fearlessly struck at the 9-colored light of the super-divine artifact. He arrogantly challenged Long Haochen again. But Long Haochen wasted no words and immediately launched into battle, wielding the 3 eternal swords and the power of creation, relying on the might of the divine throne of eternity and creation. He entered a fierce fight with the emperor. Long Haochen had to save Yi Xiaolei. Her essence was the divine nature itself, and if Long Haochen had been late even for a moment, Feng would have absorbed her. We eagerly await the new clash between Long Haochen and Feng. What will this battle be like now that Long Haochen's strength has grown? This battle highlights the dramatic growth of Long Haochen, proving that his new power has truly reached a divine level. Shang Kaier's determination and the summoning of a Lux show that teamwork and faith remain essential against overwhelming enemies. The struggle against Emperor Feng reveals the thin line between despair and hope, with Yi Xiaolei's fate at the very center. By combining divine artifacts, courage, and unity, the Dawn's Light squad demonstrates that they can challenge even the strongest of foes. The coming confrontation will decide not only the survival of Yi Xiaolei but also the balance of the world itself. Thank you very much for watching. Subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and see you all next time.